What's up? Today, we're gonna fix the DDR computer. We're gonna call this 5-minute adventure. 5-minute something. We're gonna take the parts out of this computer, right? And we're gonna stick it back into the DDR computer. Cause I might have actually long story short, we gotta fix this. I might have actually completely torn apart the old DDR computer thinking it was broken when it was actually just a cord. So, this is a quick look at what we're gonna be doing. Here are the 2 hard drives from the scrap computer, okay? We're gonna be taking those out. Here's the old video card. We may actually leave this one in here because we're gonna put a newer one in the other one. This is where your RAM sticks go. We're not gonna mess with that. And Wi-Fi card. And we're basically gonna take those, transplant them into the other computer, which we'll go have a look at now. Okay, so here's the other DDR computer that I scrapped, right? It's because I thought something happened to it, but again, it was just a cord. So you'll see the layout in here is gonna be really similar, right? Here's our RAM sticks. There's one here. I got another 2 somewhere else. I'll find that. Oh, they're already installed. So 2 RAM sticks here. I'm gonna put the starter one in here, okay? We're gonna put the newer video card in here, and we're gonna leave the rest of this alone. We're gonna install the hard drives over here, and then cut this bad boy on and let it roll. Okay, so here's the newer computer. Here's the older one, the scrap computer that we're gonna transplant. So all these cables right here, supply power. So anything that gets plugged into one of these is gonna get power. So we're gonna pull those aside first. Some of them run underneath because they're trying to get to the hard drive. So like when you're setting up your computer for the first time, especially if you're building it on your own, it's kind of like, it's going to sound weird, but it's kind of like building a human body. Like these power supplies are basically the blood vessels, and some of them have got a duck and tuck in random spots so it can get to where it needs to go, and other parts will be just kind of out here in the open. Alright, now we're going to put the RAM stick in. So take this and find a nice spot. I'm going to click it. I'm actually going to click these bad boys out. Stick these 2 next to each other. Click one in. Boom. Those 2 are in. I'm going to take this one. It only fits one way. So if you're in doubt, you can just look for the little hole. It won't fit that way. So I'm going to turn it this way. And pull that out. Press, ta-da, it's clicked in, and then this one is empty, this slot right here. So I can use that another time. Alright, now this part's tricky. We're going to take this bad boy, this is the video card, or one of them. I've got 4 in this house. So we're going to put this one in for the DDR computer, because DDR doesn't require a whole lot of power, but this should give it plenty of juice. Okay, it's in there. We need to screw it in here. Okay, so video card is installed, right? And now we're gonna do the hard drives. So let me show you where those go. Alright, so the hard drives will go in here. And we're gonna use these 2 cords here. These cords plug into the motherboard. And the motherboard will talk to the hard drives, and the hard drives can talk to the rest of the computer from there. So the motherboard's literally like what brings all these things together. Kind of like what I do with a lot of you, bringing you all together. So everything that wants to talk to something else comes through the motherboard. So we're going to put the hard drives in here. We've got them plugged to the motherboard. The motherboard will talk to the video card and the RAM and the processor, and then they will all talk to the hard drives, and it's all one nice big happy family. And obviously the motherboard itself is plugged into the power supply, and the power supply is over here. Got it? Alright, so here's the hard drive. Hard drives are slower than solid states. So a solid state drive looks like this. It's really small. The solid state drive itself is actually like this small little piece right here, but I have it in a tray so that it fits in the computer easier, right? Solid state's really fast, but they tend to be smaller in size and much more expensive. So a really wise thing to do is put your like Windows, like the thing that the computer needs to boot up, on the solid state, and anything that you want to load up really, really, really fast. Usually just Windows. You don't need your games to load up like solid state fast, unless you just want to like spend the extra money, then go for it. But you can save a lot of money and get really, really good performance by putting all your games on the hard drive, much, much cheaper and much bigger memory sizes, and then put Windows so that when you press the power button, it just starts up fast. And then when you load your games, it doesn't load quite as fast as Windows, but it loads pretty fast. Like, this is a really, really good strategy. All right, so I'm gonna put my solid state in here. Gonna put the hard drive goes in here. Bloop. And then I've got these ports open upside so that I can plug them into the motherboard nice and easy. So I'm gonna take this cord and I'm gonna plug it into the solid state. Boom. And then I'm gonna take the black cord, which it looks like I have it tucked underneath. So I'm actually gonna pull it out because I have it going underneath. See how I had it going underneath the case? I'm gonna pull it out so it can wrap around the top. So that's a neat thing about building your own PC. You can wire it in its own way. This is different from the usual, but it'll work for this PC. Just like when God makes each of us, there's a usual design. Like we all have a motherboard and we all have wires that need to go to our hard drives, but they may go a little different. Some may go underneath here and come on the underside, and some may go over the top. It's all the same stuff, but it's arranged in different ways. So this computer is uniquely built, just like each of us are uniquely built. All right, now there's a slot open. Let me see if I can, okay, so there, let me see if you can see this. All right, so there's a slot open right here. That slot needs to plug into the power. So right now we just have it plugged into the motherboard. We need to connect the hard drives to the power, okay? Because the video card is getting its power from the motherboard. The RAM sticks are getting their power from the motherboard. The hard drives have no power right now. So if we plug in this computer, it's not gonna do anything. So let's get this thing plugged up. Remember, I pulled my power cords aside earlier so they'd be nice and organized. So this is not gonna fit. See, look, the shape isn't even right. Let's see if we can focus a little bit. This right here will fit it just fine. Take a look at that tip. That's perfect. That's gonna fit in that just fine. Boom, done. That one's plugged in. Let's check this one out. That tip looks like it would, but it's 4 circles. What we really need is like a straight line. So that's not gonna fit it. We're gonna put that one away. This one, not the right shape. That's not gonna fit it, so we're gonna put that one away. It looks like we're out, right? But there's some more tucked inside the computer. So I'm gonna go in here and go digging. I'm gonna have to sit you guys down while I get that figured out, okay? So that's a really tight fit. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that out, so I'll be back. All right, so I worked it out. Here we go. Got one nice and loose. And we're gonna plug it in right where it needs to be, which is right here. Boom. Hard drives hooked into power. And now you know where everything goes, right? Let me get these cords out the way. These are loose cords. Remember that they didn't really fit anything that we needed right now? All right, boom. So these bad boys are plugging into the motherboard and the power supply. Video card for graphics, RAM for speed, CPU, speed and processing, and we are finally ready to plug this bad boy up and see if it'll go, and it should. It should. So here we go. Okay, so notice I just turned on the computer and it was black. I think I'm still using the broken cord, so we're gonna change cords and see if it behaves differently. All right. Okay, so it still isn't working. So I guess we'll do this in a part 2, because we gotta figure out what's wrong. It's not starting up. So I don't really know what it is yet. So, see you on part 2.